Welcome to Trial by Podcast, a podcast featuring a bunch of Facebook admins, and our YouTuber isn't here this week, so we haven't got her. I am Philip, and I am one of the admins on Illinois. Everyone else who is here, could you please introduce yourselves and the pages you admin?
I am Malcolm, the admin of Oberyn Martell, Rhaegar Targaryen, and 1,001 other pages.
I am Tim from Illinois, also known as Lord Steward from that page. Noah?
Yeah, I didn't have to go first this time. I'm from I admin the Stormlords. That's it.
I'm Laura. I admin a Cersei Lannister page. Cersei Lannister ASOIAF.
Yeah.
Malcolm,
Yep.
whilst I love the background music, YouTube's going to flag that for copyright, so I'm going to have to mute that.
Third-party claim.
Yes, third-party claim will happen. So,
What background music?
the background noise is coming from the TV behind you or in the room where you are. Anyway, this
I
week
wasn't aware.
we're going to be talking about the Lannisters. So, could we go around the circle, starting with our lady? Your favourite Lannister and why?
My favourite Lannister,
Yes.
Cersei.
I'm not surprised.
Because, I don't know, I think she's a very complex character. She's not just your standard evil queen, evil stepmother type character. She's got a lot of layers to her. There's a lot to read into her. And she is very likeable. Like, a lot of people hate her just for being a bitch, for being cruel, for all that. But there's a lot to her. She's like, she's actually quite sympathetic if you do read into her. And do you want my least favourite Lannister?
Yeah, go on.
Lancel. Lancel's just pathetic. I absolutely hate him.
Okay. Tim?
Is that good? Okay. My favorite is Jaime, because again, he's a very, very complex character, well, possibly one of the most complex character, and, I've always been a stickler for grey characters, and, he's quite, he has a very interesting story arc. That's the least favourite of, Laura's just said Cersei's quite complex, so I'm not saying Cersei's my least favourite might not go down well, but I might go with Lancel. The rest are quite interesting, or if I can say bastards, I'll go with Joffrey.
Okay. Malcolm?
Honestly, my favorite, I would probably have to say either Tywin or Kevin. Just because I like the military leader aspects from both of them, and how smart and ahead they try to stay rather than, I guess, letting everything else get in the way. Like some of the other ones, like Jaime and Cersei, for instance. Least favorite. I actually like Cersei. She's one of those characters that you kind of love to hate, so I'm not going to say her. Probably either Joffrey just because of how much I hate him, or, as Laura said, Lancel. His character just does nothing for me at all.
No?
Probably Tywin or Tyrion. Because, the amount of plot armor that Tyrion has is just ridiculous. And, Tywin, he doesn't approve of stupidity, which I kind of appreciate. And my least favorite would also probably be Lancel. Because he's just nothing to me, actually.
Well, my favourite character is Tyrion, because he's the hero of the story and has no negative qualities whatsoever, and he's really funny.
That too.
Bullshit.
That too.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm lying. Favourite probably goes to Jaime. Yeah, he's funny, but it doesn't excuse the fact that he's quite morally black at times.
Oh, true.
Least favourite. Lancel's probably the least interesting, but Probably Tyrion, just because I don't like the amount of love he gets.
It is quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did everybody say Lancel?
I said Lancel or Joffrey if we're counting bastards.
Yeah, might as well. Just get some variation in this least favourite category. Yeah.
I really like Tyrion, but he's... I guess the plot armor kind of deal with him just kind of lessens the amount I like him, and then the show has really made me dislike a lot of the more popular characters.
The show's whitewashed him because in my I'm not sure how many of you have. I seem to bring up Breaking Bad a lot, but I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen Breaking Bad. But if I was actually to consider any character in A Song of Ice and Fire to be the Walter White of the series, it would be Tyrion.
You think so?
Why?
Yeah, I know, because they both seem to be going on a kind of. They're both clever, extremely clever, and they both seem to be going on a kind of path which is kind of morally darker.
Well, I think that happened to Tyrion as soon as he strangled Shay, because that was the moment where he wanted her dead because he hated her, and then he started getting darker, and that's what I hated about that season 4 finale, because they just totally cut that out.
Yeah, well, Tyrion was going dark long before. I mean,
I just thought that was sort of the...
When would you say
it might have been the breaking point? But
yeah, there was a breaking point. Yeah.
Because earlier on in Storm of Swords, he kills Simon Silvertongue and has him made into stew because he was blackmailing him about Shay.
Yeah, what he said to Cersei about Tommen when he was threatening to have him raped and killed and everything. He's not always been a white character, but I just think that what happened with Shay was the breaking point, and it was a very important scene. He did not kill her in self-defense. He wasn't upset about the fact she was dead. He wanted her dead. It was a murderous rage he killed her in, and I thought that was very important to his character. So I don't know where he's going to go in the show now.
When do you think he started turning dark?
I think the betrayal, finding out about what Jaime did to him, about his lies. I think that sort of broke him.
But see, here's the thing. I want you to know what you guys think about the whole Shay situation, whether you view Shay as a victim or not. Because I kind of do view Shay as a victim in that kind of sense. Because I always got the idea. I'm not sure if she was lying, but she says this about how Cersei forced her into giving false testimony.
A victim of circumstances?
Yeah, victims, because I don't think Tyrion was justified in killing her.
No, I got the impression that Shay gave the testimony because she never really cared about Tyrion. She gave the testimony because Cersei bribed her. She offered a marriage to a knight, money, jewels, whatever, a better life. But she didn't really have a choice. I think Tyrion actually thinks, whatever my sister's promised you won't matter because she'll hand you to her guards. After that, you just get raped, probably get killed. Her promises aren't genuine. I don't think she was forced into the testimony, but I don't think she really had a choice anyway. But I don't see Shay as a victim at all. She was just a whore. She used Tyrion, and she seems quite a cold character.
She used Tyrion, but could you say that she? Do you think he was justified in killing her?
I agree that he was.
I think it's a kind of
the whore too.
I always viewed it as a very kind of ambiguous situation because a lot of people kind of disagree.
She did do exactly what he wanted, which was pretend to love him. It was his own fault that at a point he started to believe her lies. So she never really did anything bad to him.
I think it was just that trial.
But I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think he was justified in killing her, but you can sort of understand his mindset. I don't know. I think nothing else he could have done really apart from kill her. He couldn't have walked away from her. seeing her like lying in his father's bed.
Yeah. As for Noah keeps asking us like when he started turning dark. So like you get kind of glimpses of it early on, like in a Game of Thrones, like where he hires the mountain clans and he arms them with weaponry, and they're not going to be doing like good things for the Vale. They're going to be raiding and raping and pillaging in the Vale. So you could argue that that's kind of quite immoral of him. And in A Clash of Kings, where he sends the rescue party to free Jaime, and they basically break, I don't know, some conduct about, because they go under a peace banner and then they slaughter guards in order to let him escape.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say it's any worse than what other characters do.
No, but you have to judge him independently, and how that is still immoral.
I guess so. But he does, after he leaves Westeros, he does become the monster that everyone thinks he is. I mean, it's a significant sort of change. Like he gets a lot darker, and I just think it was at everything that happened in the Tower of the Hand was kind of that point where he really, really dropped in morality or whatever.
What did the rest of you think?
I'd agree, yes, but I wouldn't say he doesn't turn dark as such, just become a mopey little shit, really,
I think he does.
Oh, he does go dark, but...
I kind of see it's slightly justified. Anyone going through that same, change, and then the, being captured and everything, and what he has to go through to get where he eventually is at the point, it's kind of justified in the way he acts and his attitude.
I think understandable, not justified.
Well,
that's different.
Understandable, yeah.
And, otherwise you kind of have to say criminals' activity is justified because of their kind of upbringing. But, because in Dance of Dragons he abuses a couple of sex slaves. Like, one of them is kind of like, it's quite like the one where in the brothel where he's captured by Jorah. It was quite a very dark moment.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gone as dark as he wants people to believe, though. Like when he says, "I want to rape and kill Cersei," I don't think he actually would. I don't think he's that bad. He's just telling himself that, like, as some form of defense, he is a monster. But I think he'll change again before the end of the series.
How do you feel he's going to change?
I don't really know. I
definitely see him his attitude changing even more.
Do you think?
I kind of agree that it can really go either way, because it's hard to really tell what Martin's going to do, especially with Tyrion and the way the show has portrayed him. It's kind of up in the air how he will change.
Well, the show isn't any indicator of what's going to happen in the books.
I know. I'm just saying.
Do you think maybe? I mean, there's been a bit of foreshadowing that Tyrion is Tywin's true son, obviously with Jenna's line. That maybe Tyrion becomes a very ruthless and, in fact, cold kind of defender of his family. Assuming maybe that the whole thing with the summer maid and Penny being his daughter thing.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think that's going a bit far, Penny being his daughter.
Yeah, it's a bit far, but
I don't really believe that.
I wouldn't see it.
Okay. But I mean, him becoming a very not even.
No, it's possible, but he is like George R.R. Martin's favorite character. So I don't know. I think he'll have some sort of redemption. He'll still be a likable character by the end of the book.
I'm not sure about. Well, I'm not sure like any of his fans will ever kind of stop. I mean, people like Walter White even right at the end, and saw him as the protagonist, and well, actually no, I'm not going to go into spoilers here. I'm not sure how many people have watched it.
No,
You haven't
Noah's not
watched
watched it, I presume.
I haven't finished it yet.
Alright, okay.
Well, you should finish it. Honestly, it's amazing. I thought everyone had seen it by now.
Yeah, is it?
I've seen most of it.
But you need to see all of it, because it's like the best example of character development done on screen ever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he might remain likable, but I don't want him to, like, after A Dance of Dragons, suddenly, like, kind of revert back to kind of being nice guy Tyrion.
I don't really see that's possible. Realistically, it wouldn't be possible.
No,
I mean,
I don't think that would happen.
I mean, he's like by the end of Dance of Dragons, he's less kind of vengeful, like towards Jaime. So it is. I think he might bring himself to forgive Jaime at some point, but yeah.
I see that
I hope
he
he
will.
does. I really hope he does forgive Jaime.
Do we actually think that they will meet again?
They have to, surely.
Yeah,
I think they
do.
will.
Yeah.
I don't know. Martin, he's kind of unpredictable. There might be a chance that he could just leave that out altogether.
I'd be disappointed if they didn't meet again.
Yeah, like I'm still waiting for Tyrion and Jon to meet again. Like, come on.
Oh,
I mean,
I said
they
that.
set up that friendship, so I reckon it's possible that they will meet again. Very possible.
I want that so bad.
Yeah.
I think I said this when I was on this podcast last time that I wanted them. I mean, one more scene like when they were on top of the wall,
Yeah, just a nice scene. That'd be quite a good end to the series, maybe.
like a
Like,
buddy scene.
if they both survive to the end, Jon and Tyrion kind of looking over the new world and pontificating.
Get on my level.
They're probably,
Do you think
Do we-
we'll see at the end?
I would
don't know
like
if
to
they're
see
both
them
gonna be
meet
alive,
again.
But, that'd just be a nice ending. But then again, we're not getting a nice ending.
Then again, George.
Well, George said we get a bittersweet ending. I don't know. I've said what my thoughts on the bittersweet ending were before, but no. Yeah, as far as Tyrion's concerned, I don't know how he might kill him off in the end. I don't know.
That was something I was going to bring up. Do we actually see him surviving to the end, or do we really see him dying more likely?
I think he might be the last Lannister to survive, to be honest.
He's been a survivor so far, so I think it makes sense for him to keep going to
Bloody
the end.
plot up.
Well, yeah, but he's survived into the end thanks to plot armor. So it'd be a bit strange. So it would be a bit strange to have him die in, say, Winter. Because I
Him
think
falling in the water. Sorry, go on.
I'm just saying that Tyrion provides a very good narrative perspective because of his slightly cynical outlook, and I think that's a very good POV to keep alive just for the sake of telling the story.
No, that's true. I'm actually quite excited for him to meet Daenerys because I want to see his view on her.
No.
There's not many point of view characters. Well, there's no point of view characters like Barristan with her. So he is very valuable. I think. His chapters are really valuable to the story. So he probably will survive right until the end.
Well, we've had a view of Daenerys sort of from Quentin.
Sort of, but not really.
And it is a bit negative because of the whole Astapor thing, and how Quentin describes Astapor as being a hellhole. But yeah, as far as I didn't, because of like how I used to like Tyrion like to begin with, and then like after the show and like later on in the books, I didn't like him so much because of all the whole popularity of him and the whole nice guy Tyrion thing from the show, or Saint Tyrion as some people, or Dwarf Ned. But like I've kind of appreciated him as a much more kind of complex character because there's a kind of irony to him, like because how he has this huge chip on his shoulder about being a dwarf and being kind of ugly and etc. But then he treats other people who are ugly, etc. like shit. Like
that's the whole point of Penny to make him sort of self-reflect, because he does treat her like terribly, and then but she's a dwarf too, and I don't think the whole thing about Penny being his daughter and all that lot, I just think that's just silly. But she's actually quite valuable for him to like have some bit of self-reflection on the way he sees other people.
Yeah, she's a foil for him. But like it's like with he mentions about Lolis in King's Landing about how ugly she is and stuff like that. And, yeah. So he's a bit of a hypocrite in a way, because he has this huge chip on his shoulder about being a dwarf and being ugly and like kind of taking it in good light.
But I think that's a lot to do with him being a Lannister as well, because even though he's a dwarf, they're all vain, they're all arrogant. And, he doesn't get away from that just because he's a dwarf. He's still a Lannister, and that's their attitude.
I mean, I hated the I hated the show, like how you have the nice guy Tyrion, and with at the end of season 3 they had him and Sansa joking around and laughing. I was like, that's out of character.
That was ridiculous. I don't like how that's handled in the show at all.
Do you want to move on to Jaime? Although I think Malcolm, Tim and I have discussed Jaime to death on this podcast. So I'm more interested in hearing Laura's and Noah's thoughts on this, as opposed to Tim and Malcolm.
Okay.
His Hound dead. They didn't show him die. And I've learned if they don't show him die, they're not dead.
That's a very insightful comment from Malcolm's friend, but as we were.
What would you like to know?
General thoughts on Jaime.
General thoughts?
Just general thoughts.
That his character arc is done, sort of?
You think it's done?
Almost. Almost.
I think it is. I think it is done. I think he's had his redemption. He's had the whole thing with Brienne happen, where he sort of realised that he wants to be a knight like she is. All those values and stuff, he respects them. And his relationship with Cersei that made him a worse person, like his cruelty and his arrogance. A lot of it comes from Cersei. But when he spends time away from her and spends time with Brienne, he becomes a different person. And that's happened. His relationship with her has totally been. I mean, he still loves her. I guess he can't ever not love her, but that's totally dissolved. And I don't know what's going to happen with him and Lady Stoneheart, but I think his character arc is coming to an end now. I think it's all been developed, and all he's got left really is to wrap things up with Brienne, however that's going to happen, and then have some sort of final showdown with Cersei. Like I do think that he is her Valonqar, or however you pronounce it, and then I think he's gonna die with Cersei. I think his story's coming to an end. Maybe even in Winds of Winter. I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say because you said his arc was coming to an end, and that, when you said that, I thought you meant Stoneheart, and I was thinking, no, surely he's got to finish with Cersei first.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that. I do not know what's going to happen with him and Stoneheart, but he's not going to die. He's not going to die there, no.
I definitely agree with Laura that he's going to get out of that situation with Stoneheart, and I kind of like her idea. I've never really thought that his arc would completely end after that point, but it would seem logical.
I've always... Sorry.
I was just going to say, so I agree with her.
Yeah.
Continue, Tim.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, well, Jaime is my favourite character, but I've always kind of, after book 3 and book 4, I've always kind of resigned the fact that he's not going to survive the series, and, I would kind of think it would be bad if he did survive.
I don't think any of the Lannisters are going to, well, like we said, like maybe Tyrion, but I think House Lannister is going down by the end of the series. Probably because of the Martells, because the Martells hate them so much. I think they're going to succeed in totally destroying the Lannisters.
Well, so the Lannisters have all they've brought about their own downfall. It begun with Joffrey's death, and then the Lannisters' only saving grace I saw would have been
Tywin surviving, but Tyrion kind of ended that, and then Kevin, and we saw what happened with him and Varys. So without them, it's just more and more falling into chaos.
No, what's your thoughts on Jamie?
I told you. Well, I don't. His character arc is almost done. That's what I said. I mean, seriously, what's left? He's gone from bad guy to good guy, and bad guy and good guy. He's been back and forth, and I mean, what's left really? Back and forth for me, at least. I mean,
Yeah,
what's left?
I agree. I think his story is almost complete.
Yeah.
But what do you think of him as a character?
I mean, I like him. I like his arrogance.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he just disregards, I mean, everyone except Cersei at some points, but I sort of despise the fact that he kept the secret about Tisha away from Tyrion. Kind of pisses me off a bit.
I don't mind about that because
Well, I guess it's sort of to protect him, but I guess it's sort of to protect Tyrion, but it's sort of a dick move anyways. And it kind of sucks that it wasn't in the show.
Yeah, I know, it really sucks that it wasn't in the show, but I don't mind the fact that Jamie kept it from Tyrion because he was guilty about it, but as he tried to explain to Tyrion, Tywin explained to Jamie that this girl, she couldn't have loved Tyrion for who he was because she was lowborn, and she probably was only marrying him for his money and for his status. So is there a difference between that and being a whore? Tywin told that to Jamie, and Jamie kind of thought, well, yeah, I guess so. That must be true. And even though he still felt guilty about it, he still felt he needed to tell Tyrion about it, and he was still apologetic for it. But he genuinely believed that, maybe there was no difference between what Tisha was and a whore. So,
well, yeah.
I forgive him for that.
I suppose Jamie didn't foresee Tywin ordering the kind of gang rape of her. There's actually an interesting parallel. I thought of this. There's an interesting kind of parallel between Jamie and Tyrion, in Feast and Dance, as well. Because Jamie's working to fix the kind of realm, by fixing the Riverland and kind of making a kind of peaceful end to the war, whereas Tyrion is kind of has gone east to help a foreign, not Daenerys isn't foreign, but help someone invade, and which will bring more kind of war and death and destruction upon Westeros.
It's kind of interesting how they've flip-flopped a little bit.
Yep.
I do hope they meet, though. They have to meet again.
It'd be nice to have some kind of resolution between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, our third Lannister on this list, assuming everyone's done with Jamie and Tyrion. Cersei. One of the most complex characters in the series, so this is why we brought in a Cersei expert.
Oh, so much pressure.
Yeah, sorry.
You can start us off, because I'm a bit lost.
Sorry, was that aimed at me or Laura?
Well, if the shoe fits.
Why could it be aimed at me?
Like I said, the shoe fits.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm not wearing shoes.
Right, so Cersei's complexity. I agree with Malcolm. It's love to hate, because she's almost funny in the way how just crazy paranoid she is in the Feast for Crows. I'm hearing this mostly kind of through the grapevine, not so much from a reread, because I've still yet to get to Feast for a reread. But just because the fact that she's got to where she wants to be, where she's always aspired to be, always taking the second kind of tier down as queen, and now she's finally at this position of power, and she's realised that it's not all she wanted it to be, and I think that's kind of destroyed her slightly.
Well, there is a point in Feast where she realizes she is at the top, and she's got Marjorie. She's got Marjorie imprisoned, sons on the throne, or like she's lost a brother and a dad and everything like that. It's not a perfect situation, but she has total control, and well, she thinks she does. She thinks everything's going in her favor, and she's absolutely ecstatic. I think. Well, actually, it might be in Dance, because it's just before she gets imprisoned herself, and she's absolutely ecstatic with the power she has. She thinks like this is where I should be, and a lot of people hate her for how ambitious she is and how the things she's done to get into power. But it's being Tywin's daughter. It's kind of understandable that she'd have this mindset. I mean, she's Tywin's daughter. She's Jaime's sister. She's everything she wants. She couldn't have because of her gender. And I wouldn't say she's like a feminist character or anything like that. I wouldn't go that far. But it is admirable that that she has got to this point, no matter what she's done, because it was a massive challenge for her, and it's everything she wanted. And I think it's quite heartbreaking when it does all fall down for her. And I think it's quite heartbreaking that she doesn't realise she's so blinkered, and she's so vain, and she's so arrogant, and she's so desperate for everything to go her way that she doesn't realise she has brought her own about her own downfall. And I don't know. I just people say oh, you love to hate her and everything, and I probably shouldn't admit this, but I do like her because I can relate with a lot of her emotions. I think a lot of people could if they read her more closely, because she's not just all evil. She's quite tormented. She's quite hurt. I mean, with what happened with Rhaegar, she was going to be the queen of this dragon prince, and that all fell through, and she was married to a king that used to abuse her and rape her, and just he was in love with a ghost of another woman. It all sort of fits together why she is the person she is, but it doesn't totally excuse the fact that she can be a bit of a bitch, but she's also a Lannister. I mean,
bitch is kind of their middle name.
Yeah, Jaime's he's a likable character. He gets into the all his knightly virtues and stuff when he meets Brienne, and he is probably I don't know, I would say he's probably one of the most likable Lannisters, but Lannisters are Lannisters. Maybe Cersei would have been a different woman if she wasn't Tywin's daughter.
Or if she wasn't Robert's wife.
Or no, if she wasn't Robert's wife. Maybe things would have gone different for her if she had married Rhaegar.
Speaking of which, because apparently a lot of her actual character comes from the whole Maggie the Frog thing. What did you think of the Maggie the Frog plot device? Because a lot of kind of fans of Cersei and stuff don't like the plot device, because apparently she has, with everything that's happened to her already, there's enough kind of there for her to be the way that she is without some prophecy.
I think it's I think if Cersei hated Tyrion her whole life just for the fact that he killed Joanna, it's not really enough. She's extremely paranoid about him. She's extremely hateful about him, and I think the prophecy's good for that.
In A Clash of Kings, she's not that hateful towards him. She is a bit, but there are parts where she's kind of where I think Tyrion gives an order to Kingsguard during the riot, and he disobeys. The Kingsguard disobeys him, and then Cersei says, "No, that's the hand of the king who's talking to you." And then,
Well, it's only when you really get into her point of view chapters when you really realise her thoughts, because she is the queen. She has to sort of wear a mask. She does hide a lot of what she's thinking or what she's feeling, because she's very good at that. She's very good at being a courtly lady. So I think that would be part of it.
And
I know having someone speaking out for Tyrion because he's a hand of the king, because he's a Lannister. It's all part of just like her courtly duties, as opposed to, you know, her not defending him because she just hates him.
Okay, well, there's that one, but there is another one where Tyrion gives her the news about Renly and Stannis fighting, and she's like kind of ecstatic about this. She's happy, and then she kind of hugs him and picks him up and spins him round.
Well,
And that doesn't. And there's also, if she was so paranoid about like Tyrion killing her children, she wouldn't let him anywhere near them. And you know, like when Tyrion started to send Myrcella and Tommen away, like surely that would kind of clue her in to kind of get him assassinated as soon as possible. And you know, you could say Mand and more, but that was kind of a bit later, quite a bit later.
I think she does quite a good. Well, not after Tywin's death. That's when it all goes downhill. But she does quite a good job of reining in her anger. Before that point, and also it's quite common of the sort of, I don't know, sort of evil queen or the sort of witch stepmother type character to have these moments where they sort of forget themselves. I mean, like I think that's quite a common. I kind of find that scene quite funny. I don't think it says that she hates him any less, that she has any affection for him. I just think it's not. She only really acts on getting Tyrion assassinated after what he did to her father, because that's the point where she realizes I'm right about this. He is a monster. He is the Valancourt. He's going to destroy me. I have to act now.
Well, she does work to get him assassinated with Mand and Moore.
Yeah. I think she took the opportunity for that because she was a bit desperate.
Is that before or after? That's after Tyrion has demands that kind of Joffrey stays in the front lines, right? Or is this show invention? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, no, the show invented like how like that Joffrey actually sent Mand and Moore out, which wasn't in the book at all. Because I know the show does a weird thing about making Cersei more sympathetic.
Yeah, I did not like that. They did it with the Robert's Bastards as well. They put that on Joffrey, whereas Cersei has absolutely no. She'll kill children fine. Like, she hated bastards. She had no hang-ups about killing little babies or anything. I don't know why they changed that in the TV show. I don't know why they're trying to make her so sympathetic, because that's just not her. But not in that way either. Like, the fact that she says that Catelyn Stark is a mouse for not killing Jon Snow in the cradle, that's part of her personality. And she's not a sadist, but she is ruthless. And that bit in the TV show when she's like, she doesn't really want to say to Tyrion, oh, it was Joffrey. She seems quite ashamed of the fact that Joffrey's done that. That's just not her character at all.
But she's not a sadist. Like, isn't there a bit where she's kind of what's the word? Not upset, like kind of queasy, if you like, about what Coburn is doing, but she still allows it to happen.
She still allows it to happen, but there is a point made about the fact that she is sick to her stomach about seeing these things happen to people. Like, she's not completely evil. She's not like, I don't know, like Ramsay Snow or something like that. She's just as ruthless as her father. She puts herself above everyone else, even her brother.
I definitely agree that she's kind of out for, herself and to kind of look out for her. And I agree that she's not completely evil, and, her experiences have shaped her into how she is, sort of. But she's still a royal bitch.
Oh, no, she is. But you can see, like, from her childhood, like, the person she is now, like, her ambition and everything is because she's been denied everything she thinks she's entitled.
Yeah. And even Tywin, treated her differently because of that, because she was a girl, for instance.
And the fact that she's twin to Jaime as well, it doesn't make sense to her. It's never made sense to her why her life should be so different just because she's a girl.
Well, I mean, the ruthless things she does. Well, I mean, she does them for a reason. Ramsay doesn't. I mean, he just does them because why the fuck
Because he
not?
enjoys it.
I mean,
Yeah, she's not.
Ramsay's just one of those sadistic people
Yeah.
that I guess they're mentally unstable in the regards that maybe they're not completely in control of how crazy they actually are. They
No.
enjoy more or less, what they're doing and enjoy the torture and abuse that they put others through.
Ramsay's
Without
just
any
I
regard.
guess.
and Cersei isn't a psychopath. She can be quite bad, but she's not totally insane. Not yet.
Yeah, she has some good in her, especially towards her children. Even
Her one redeeming quality.
I don't know about that though, because there is
And her
the
cheekbones.
question- there is the
damn it,
question
Noah.
whether
What?
like Cersei, like, does she love her children, or does she just love her children because they're hers?
Of their their power, pretty much.
Yeah, that the power they give her, the way to the throne they give her, the fact that they're Jaime's. Is it vanity, or is it real motherly love? I think like someone actually asked this question of George
I
R. R.
would
Martin.
I would like to say that it's a little bit of both. It's
Yeah.
more. It kind of leans to the fact that maybe she wouldn't be as attached to them without their roles and power for the realm. Hence
She had
the
no
two of them.
problem. She had no problem with aborting Robert's baby that she got pregnant with.
But those were robbers. I mean, I think, it's because Robert kind of, legally in those times, or legally in the song of it's not rape, but, I'd view it as rape. But
Yeah, I suppose so. But like she said about having Rhaegar's children, she'd have sons that were Targaryen princes and stuff. But even then, there is a bit of vanity in that.
well, but she was genuinely devastated at Joffrey's death. It wasn't just a case of the king's dead.
That's true. That scene in the show made me tear up a bit. I thought everyone else was cheering for Joffrey's death. I don't really hate Joffrey that much, but
I love
felt quite
the
sad.
character. I mean, I love the character. Just,
Yeah,
I mean, such a just brilliant character. For
Yeah.
some reason, I hated things he did and the way he was, but it was just a brilliant character.
I think Ramsay Snow is a brilliant character. He really
Not as
scares
brilliant.
crap
I mean,
out of
he's
me.
just cruel. I mean, I think Joffrey's a better character though.
Well,
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't like when people compare, Ramsay Snow is just Joffrey is just the Mountain and stuff like that. They're all different characters. They're all deplorable in their ways, but
I think
I miss Joffrey. I really do.
psychopaths like Gregor, Ramsay, and to a degree Joffrey. I don't think Joffrey's completely psychotic, but he certainly has tendencies. And I think as favourite characters go, I think psychopaths are not necessarily not easy to love, but there's something about them and the way they just represent a very distinct black surface in what is otherwise a very grey world. Does kind of gives you an ability to kind of latch onto it because they're completely understandable by the fact that they are impossible to understand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I think Ramsay Snow is probably the blackest character in the universe.
Gregor.
Gregor, do you think?
I think Gregor, because Ramsay has genuine justification for being as fucked up as he is.
doesn't he?
Well,
Such
okay.
as-
The
Understandable.
Mountain does too.
Okay, well, Gregor's...
He has his headaches and stuff. It makes him
Why did you rape that poor woman? Oh, I had a headache.
No, not like that. But just he's constantly in pain, he can't stand it. He drinks milk of the puppy, it's gigantism and stuff. He's not very well. I think a lot of his actions are kind of yeah, he is evil. He is a bastard, but a lot of it's out of just he can't control himself because he's in so much pain, so much all the time. He doesn't. I don't think he necessarily enjoys the stuff he does, like the rape and the murder and massacre and stuff like that. I think he's just a very, very angry creature. Like,
I can't understand that for, like, murder, right? Taking it out by chopping a guy in half. Like, I can understand that as that's fairly understandable. But rape doesn't sound like the kind of crime you commit for out of anger. Especially not
Can-
people...
do you not think so? Do you not
Can
think
be
that,
sexual drive plus anger. You
don't
might
think-
not take any pleasure from it.
I don't think rape has anything to do with sex. Not in this sort of context. I think rape is just it's a power thing. It's I think when he did that to Elia,
Elia!
I think it was just a spur of the moment anger thing. Like he just took it all out on a woman in the most, I don't know, the harshest way you possibly could.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything to do with sex.
We've gone off
Yeah,
the
this is
topic.
going off the topic, but it was an interesting divergence.
Shall I give a final note on that? Like, I mean, you said about how, I think, did Noah say this or Malcolm say this about how her experience has shaped her character? And
Yeah.
this is kind of and Laura, this is a bit of my issue with the Maggie the Frog thing because, her experience have shaped her, and you can kind of see that before the chapters actually begin in Feast. So I kind of take issue with the prophecy a bit because I think it's not kind of needed. Like, and I didn't like that kind of justification for her character, how it's all based off this prophecy she had.
I wouldn't call it justification. And the thing with the prophecy is that
Not justification, understandability, whatever. Just
yeah. Well, I mean, in the same chapter as when she thinks about the prophecy, it's implied that she murdered her friend. For
Malaria.
Yeah, like for Fancy and Jamie, or just as well because she didn't want anyone to know what Maggie said. Like she wanted to keep it quiet. She wanted to forget about it. So there is the implication that even at 11 years old, she was like quite a ruthless, cruel bitch, even without like this prophecy. So I don't think it's. I like it, me. I don't take any issue with the prophecy. I'm excited to see if it gets fulfilled completely, because that would reflect her character. That fact that she's heard this prophecy, it's her worst nightmare, and yet all her life, all she's done is completely fulfill it. Like Maggie is eerily accurate in all the things she said, and a lot of prophecies in the book series they either don't come true or they're ambiguous, or they can be stopped or whatever like that. But Maggie the Frog's prophecy is coming true completely, very, very accurate, and I think that's quite important to Cersei's character. She doesn't even realise that. She never thinks. She has her 3 kids by Jamie, and Robert has all his bastards. She never really reflects on the fact that that was her fault. She did that. She fulfilled that part of the prophecy. So I like it. I don't take any issue with it.
I'll agree to disagree then.
Okay.
Okay, so that's wrapping up Cersei, and whilst we have other Lannisters to talk about, I think we have some questions from our page. So I think I've got them here. So
Alright.
I think we'll end on the comedy one. So we'll start with Do you think we'll ever see the Great John again?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think so.
Probably.
The guy who's now currently trapped in the twins.
Twins. Well, he's the only main kind of bannerman to survive that, so I think, George had him survive for a reason, probably. Otherwise he'd have just killed him off with the rest of them.
To go bitch slap some phrase into death. Great John Unchained.
Let's go.
I can't remember. I stole that from someone. I can't remember who, but it's not my joke. Will Rosalind Frey and Edmure Tully's child be important later on in the series?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't see that being that important.
I can't see how it could be.
Other than the future, well, it possibly could be because
Unite the Riverlands.
I've predicted that the Frey line will actually die out, and all of Walder's male heirs will die, and then he'll be the last one, and so he'll like die of old age, knowing that his house name will go into ruin.
That would be very satisfying. I do want that to happen.
Yeah.
I think the baby will die though. Then is it Jamie that said like he'd send it in a trebuchet?
Yeah, but that was Jamie kind of giving a bluff in order to get Edmure to surrender Riverrun.
Yeah, but I think something like that would happen. I think that baby's going to die quite brutally. I don't know. This is my feeling.
I don't think Jamie's going to send in a trebuchet.
No, I don't think Jamie would. But I don't know. Maybe I don't think.
He's already sent one child catapulting. You know.
Okay. Theories on where Bronn is heading next. So,
Bronn's with
the Stokeworths.
He's not heading anywhere.
You don't think he's going to do anything? No.
He might do something. But...
Show or book?
Do you reckon Tyrion will have him killed? Like he'll, like
I don't
if
think
Tyrion
so.
comes back with with Daenerys' army.
I don't think so. Tyrion never has. Tyrion doesn't hold any resentment towards Bronn. You know, like he understands that Bronn was a sellsword.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to see Bronn again. Like I enjoyed him, and I think we should just leave him where he is. Like whatever's happening in the show, I have no idea what's happening in the show now. But like,
he's going to Dawn for a nice holiday.
That is so silly.
I don't even know.
Milking Bronn for its worth.
Yeah. Yeah. So he can.
Well, he's named his son Tyrion. Well, he's named Lollys' son Tyrion.
He can stay wherever he is, pricking Stokeworth every night. And the last question we have: is there an end to the scale of Tormund's Giantsbane's member?
No, not that I know of. I've done several measurements.
Never.
I'm still measuring. I've been going about a year now.
But by several, I mean like separate. I mean like kind of fractions of it. You know.
I've been going up it for the last year or so, and I still haven't found the top. It's not even in sight. Okay.
I love Tormund Giantsbane. He's probably one of my favourite characters.
He's my favourite non-major character.
Yeah.
Is there an active Tormund page?
Yeah, there is one.
Oh God.
There is one. We did look for it when we were making a page.
I know there.
Malcolm, stop trying to do a monopoly and all that.
No, I didn't want to make one. I don't even have time for the 1,000 pages I do admin. I was just curious because I have it liked, but I never see any post or anything from it.
Alright. Is that it for the
I
questions?
think that's it for questions. So do we want to...
Unless anyone else has a question.
Unless you...
Of us.
I honestly forgot to ask my pages. Last week I actually had like 20 extra comments, questions I couldn't even ask. Well, the week before. And...
We'll bring them up again. Yeah.
Find them.
Well, we don't know which ones we haven't done. But, in the meantime, do you or Phil or Laura or Noah have any questions to ask the rest of us, that we can talk about? Just a quick one.
Yeah, I have one. What do you think about, the possibility of Tyrion being Aerys' son as opposed to Tywin?
No, thank you.
No.
No more secret Targs, please.
No.
But there is something I completely hate.
No, let her talk.
Let Laura talk.
But I don't understand why it's included the description of Tyrion's hair in the first book being so blonde it's almost white. Is there something to that, or?
I don't know.
And the fact that it's mentioned that Aerys thought Joanna was attractive and all that lot, and he took liberties. Is that just an excuse for another excuse for why Tyrion, Tywin wanted to wage war on the Targaryens, or did something actually happen?
It said he took liberties at their wedding.
Yeah.
Jaime and Cersei were born before, like, I don't know how many years before Tyrion. I think they were like 6, 7, 8, 9.
It does
Eight.
sort of
It's
imply
more.
that maybe
It's
at
more.
that
It's
stage.
more likely it's Jaime and Cersei than it is Tyrion, and I think if it was Tyrion, it would undermine Jenna's line.
Mm. Well, if it was Tyrion, it would totally destroy the whole relationship. Like the whole idea of him being Tywin's son, him writ small, and everything. It would be like a kick in the teeth to me. I'd hate it.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't like it.
There are like clues, like, and I don't know.
Are there a lot of clues? I mean, yeah, I don't like it because it would undermine the Tyrion and Tywin dynamic.
I definitely hope it's not true, but I mean.
Well, people have said that because you didn't get grayscale from the Royne, that's evident because apparently the Targs are immune to disease, which they're not. That's just Daenerys's kind of Messiah complex kicking in.
Yeah.
Because the Targs died during the Great Spring Sickness. I can't remember.
I don't understand why Tyrion didn't get grayscale. Like that was
Lots of armor.
Some of them don't get. Not everyone gets grayscale.
Yeah, but
Some people are immune.
then John Collington got it, and I
John
don't.
got it.
But
not everyone gets it.
I know, but I just, I just didn't like that. I didn't.
Plot armor.
Like you say, plot armor.
Plot armor
It's-
level 1000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm, you found your questions yet?
I haven't.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Malcolm.
Okay.
Fine.
They're like 3 weeks old, and I have to go back on the different pages
No,
that they
it's
came.
okay. It's okay, Malcolm. It's okay.
It's
You
okay.
just failed the podcast, but
I'm
it's okay.
sorry.
Has anyone else got another question?
Wait,
Do
Sons
you
of the Harpy.
think Jamie is Azor Ahai?
Hi.
Shit, I'm bad at
Possible.
pronouncing that.
I think it's possible, but it relies a lot on George basing the whole series, basing a lot of the series around Norse mythology, which I'm not sure he does. I'm not sure he'd go that route, like his whole narrative on Norse mythology. I don't know.
Alright, I have a question.
Alright, Malcolm.
From Hamish Animal Mother Doll Man on the Sons of the Harpy page. He asked, why does the show make Game of Thrones suck so much?
Oh,
We have answered this
The
question.
show is Game of Thrones, and well,
It didn't. No,
kind
it
of
didn't
in-
make Game of Thrones suck. But the first season was good.
But the first season was good.
It's just
it's like, why is it called Game of Thrones? Because that's the only book it truly followed.
Fair enough. A serious question. From Rin Gray. Is there a hell in the Ironborn religion, or only the Valhalla or feasting hall of the drowned god?
I think there is, isn't there? Like the halls of the drowned god or something like that.
Isn't that weird?
that's like the heaven, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
suppose it is. Well, it might be the halls of the storm god then, because the storm god is the enemy of the drowned god in the Ironborn religion.
Yasmin actually asked a question.
What?
She asked if Euron is the one being the one that's controlling the dragon horn, if Victarion blows it and gains control of the dragons, will they actually answer to Euron or Victarion?
I don't know.
That's kind of opinion, of what we would think would happen, but
I'd like someone else to get control of at least one dragon just to make the series just to make things more interesting, but
I really think that someone has to gain control of some of them, or at least one. Otherwise, it just kind of seems
Daenerys
I think-
does all the good guns.
I think 2 of the dragons are going to die. I think Daenerys is only going to be left with Drogon. I don't think there's going to be like riders and stuff like that. I think that'd just be silly. I don't know.
Well, Daenerys is already a rider. But
Yeah,
So-
but I don't think there's going to be like
Jon Snow and Tyrion.
Jon, Aegon, and Tyrion, all that like riding. I just don't. I think there's going to be one dragon left. I think
Yeah,
they're going to die.
Jon and Tyrion and Daenerys being the dragon riders against the others. That's it sounds fucking cliche. I don't know.
It sounds awful. I don't think that's what.
Yeah. That's not like... I don't have a discussion with someone. The ideal ending of the show is Daenerys suddenly being really good at fighting and having a 4-man fighting team with her and her 3 dragons against the entire other army.
No, stop.
Teenage Mutant
Yeah, just like
Ninja
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 5,
Dragons.
where they constantly get told to work as a team, but then end up fighting individually. The entire final fight.
Well, have you actually watched that film?
What, the new one? Hell no. Why the hell would I watch the... Why would I give money to Michael Bay?
I don't
Shaky
know.
cam.
We did for a couple of Transformers films.
I did for 2.
Uh.
And the
The first one, though.
first one's okay.
This one's okay, but it still has Shia LaBeouf in it.
Yeah.
But
And
That's a very...
It's
That's
just
a problem with most films, if it has Shia LaBeouf in it.
like the Indiana Jones film that doesn't exist.
don't,
So-
please.
I'm gonna break topic for just one split second.
We've
to
already
say-
broken topic, but
Mhm.
yeah, go on.
Well, I wasn't listening. To just say that I fucking hate people, and whoever bid on this motherfucking mask, I will slit your fucking throat.
Come again?
What?
He bid on a mark and he lost.
No, I was going to bid on a mask. Something completely pointless that I do not need. However,
Thing then, man. You don't need it.
it's a object from a band, and I was going to bid on this item. However,
And?
someone bid $2,000 on it right off the bat. Just completely destroyed any chance of me bidding on it.
The Kraken's
The
here.
Kraken is fine.
Oh,
I
wow.
blame it on
Okay,
McCracken.
okay, in
It's
which
all
case-
his fault.
Give
Bartek?
him
When he
Uh.
joins, I think we're going to have to do a quick deviation from our Lannister topic and talk about D&D.
D&D.
The new hiring of a writer.
Oh,
Well, we've already gone.
Oh,
off
Well, we've
topic,
got, yeah,
so
we've gone far off topic already. So, yeah.
I hate people.
Well, good for you, Malcolm.
I do too.
So, where the fuck were we before we started talking about?
We've wrong questions.
teams.
While I wait for McCracken, should we do the quiz? Should we give Laura the trial by podcast, not Northerns.
Podcasts.
Podcat.
Podcast. We'll get,
Wait, who's going to time it? Because Bartek did
oh
it.
no, this sounds really.
it's fine. You'll be
I don't want this.
you'll be fine. Let me.
Wait, do we have the list of who's the
We
leaderboard?
do. I will find it.
I'm gonna try. Oh,
Right,
wait.
I've got it.
Who can stopwatch? Can anyone stopwatch?
Yeah, can one of you stop watching? I can do everything else.
Oh, I don't know this idea.
You'll be fine. It's a
I'll
fun
stop.
little quiz. Things you need to know are that your score is more important than your
So
time.
much.
Okay.
So 6 out of 10 in 4 minutes is better than 5 out of 10 in 1 minute.
Right.
If someone else can stop watch, I can.
I could.
Oh, that's stopwatch.
I could.
Okay. Okay, you do it then.
Noah.
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 Alright, tell me when you're ready, and I'll count down.
Ready?
3. Laura, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Go!
Go.
Who is the Castellan of Storm's End who protects Edric Storm?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Which sellsword which sellswords company has joined Aegon Targaryen?
Oh, the Golden Company.
Which song is sung to prevent others from hearing Olenna and Sansa's conversation about Joffrey?
I don't know.
Before dying, who does Lord Commander Mormont ask Sam to give a message to?
I don't know.
In the Faith of the Seven, what does the father represent?
What does he represent?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too much pressure.
Which substance did the household of maesters administer to ease pain?
Oh, milk of the poppy.
How many washerwomen accompany Abel to Winterfell?
7.
What skill was Lyanna Stark known for?
riding. Horse riding.
Where does Jack and Hagar tell Arya he is first from?
Oh, dude. I don't know, Bravos?
Who says, "My sword is yours, my life is yours, my love is yours"?
Oh, no, this one. Oh, no, I know that one, but I don't know. Pass.
Okay, stop the clock.
Oh, terrible.
Alright, so,
Sort of.
question 1. Who is the Castellan of Storm's End? Who protects Edric Storm? You gave no answer. The answer was Courtney Penrose.
Oh,
Golden Company was correct. I'm going to give that a 1. The song was The Bear and the Maiden Fair.
Oh, of course it was.
The bear.
There's only like 2
There's
songs.
only 2 songs in the series. The person who Lord Commander Mormon asked Sam to give a message to was his son, Jorah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good luck, man.
What was the message?
He says, "Tell my son to join the Night's Watch before he dies." Like,
Oh, yeah.
But how?
alright, the Kraken is here. Just 3, 2, 1. Unleash
Phil.
unleash the Kraken.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna
Sorry, I will go back to finishing this quiz. The father represents judgment.
Oh, okay.
Milk the Poppy, you got right. You were very close with the Washwoman. You said 7, but the answer is in fact 6.
Oh, God, I was going to say 6.
Yes, Lyanna Stark was a very renowned for her horsemanship, but riding I'll give. Dario, I didn't know this, but apparently Dario Jaqen
Is Euron?
Yeah, Dario is Euron. No, Jaqen is originally from Lorath.
I knew that.
And the last one you passed on, Dario.
Was Darren.
What
I knew
was
that
the
because
last one
they
again?
gave this fucking cringy
Aragorn.
show.
Oh, God, yes, of course it is. That can't
Hey,
be-
can someone update me on what we're doing at the moment?
We just finished the quiz and the questions.
How long is this cast
Do
gone?
you want the time?
Yeah, what was the time?
1:40,
Christ.
sort of.
1:40.
About.
Okay, so Laura, you got. I don't like saying this.
3.
No.
Laura,
Yeah.
someone just from the Rumble that Amber set up and the guys at Game of Starks, we had a group chat for Team Stannis and someone just linked your profile for some reason.
For what,
Are you-
For what reason?
Yep. So
So guys, what's happening with this party? I just found out I have the time to go.
Oh, I don't know.
all right.
And then Kane linked to her Facebook.
Back to topic and vaguely related to the podcast.
Oh, 4 out of 10, that's terrible.
I wasn't gonna
I
say.
did not like that at all.
You're actually at the bottom.
Yeah, you're at the bottom. I'm sorry, Laura.
Oh, no. How embarrassing.
I had high hopes for you, honestly. I thought, but
I can't be doing with time and stuff,
you
man.
did pretty well with the Cersei thing when you said you had a lot of pressure on you. Yeah. So our last Lannisters to talk about, unless we want to talk about any others, Tywin.
We can talk about Joffrey as well, can't we?
Oh, okay.
Have we discussed Tyrone?
We've discussed Tyrion, Jaime, and Cersei. So I'm sorry, McCracken.
But you did say you discussed Tyrone. You said Tyrion, Jaime, and Cersei. I didn't hear Tyrone anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Damn it, Tyrone.
Damn it, Tyrone.
Damn it! You had one job.
I guess it's... Is he fan fiction?
doesn't-
Is Tyrone Lannister fan fiction?
Milk doesn't grow on trees, Tyrone.
No. Right here.
Right. Right. We're gonna carrying on with again vaguely related to
Could
podcast.
we have that picture
No, we can.
for the
no, we
podcast
can't.
this episode?
We cannot. No. Right. Tywin. Who likes Tywin?
I do.
I love Tywin.
I do.
He's one of my favourite characters. Well, I'll say he's in my top 10.
Yeah, me too.
favorites. Not my top 5, my top 10. No, even though he's very immoral as a character, you know, I like ordering the rape of his sons and the Red Wedding and stuff like that.
I don't know about Red Wedding though, because he did have a point. Like, is it worse to kill people at dinner than like 1,000 at war or whatever the quote?
Yeah, but he said 12 at dinner, but in actual fact, 3,500 people were killed at the Red Wedding.
But that's still less than the people that would die if the war continued.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but he said on a battlefield, and like, you know, there were battles in the series that had less casualties than that.
I don't know. I'm kind of on board with Tywin with the Red Wedding.
I'd say it's a very pragmatic move, and you know, in that sense, I would kind of agree with, like, it's still a kind of immoral thing, and I think in the way he did it very well, because he put all of the blame on House Frey.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are. I think they're the ones that can be scapegoats for it. If you know, like the Faith of the Seven and stuff like that have a go at them. That's Lannister. Yeah, I do like Tyrion. He's a very.
Should we sing again?
What, the Rains of Castamere?
No, we're not going to sing the Rains of Castamere because, well, I know I can't sing. I know Tim can't sing. I'm pretty sure Malcolm can't sing.
Bring in Bartek.
Yeah, that's right. What's your favourite aspect of Tywin? Like,
His manhood.
His commandment abilities.
Yeah.
He gets shit done, to be honest. Like, I said how, like, on the kind of, like, I made a post about, like, the best strategy. I said the best military strategist was Stannis. The best political would be Littlefinger, but a mix between the two, I'd say Tywin.
Wait.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
No, he's
not commandment.
You know,
he's leadership qualities. Or something. Well, no, he gets shit done.
Getting shit done's like...
Yeah, I mean, he's very kind of immoral, but he does get shit done.
I said commandments, and then I started thinking about religion.
And I think a lot of the stuff I like about Tywin... I think I like Tywin a lot because of the show, because I really like Charles Dance as an actor.
Oh, it's fantastic casting for Tywin Lannister, that was.
They cast Tywin Lannister as Tywin Lannister.
I can't see him as anything else apart from Tywin now. Like, he's almost typecast.
What, not even in Ali G in the house?
That is just Tywin, just losing it a bit. Like, maybe getting a bit high, you know. Just living a little. Tywin in his, like, younger days.
Tywone.
Yeah.
And yeah, as a character, like, I know, like, his death, like, is my favorite death in the series, because, you know, I just...
Because she's on the toilet.
Yeah, he couldn't have died, like, seriously, he couldn't have died in a better way. The kind of, the great Tywin Lannister, this man of kind of great, obsessed with his pride and obsessed with his legacy, and the Lannister name, who dies...
On the shitter.
He dies on the shitter.
I agree, like, when I read that scene, I remember, like, I squealed with joy and threw the book across the room. I was like, it's fantastic. Especially as it ended with Tyrion saying, no, in the end he didn't shit gold. It was a fucking amazing chapter, that. I love it.
And yeah, well, and his death kind of, you know, is a kind of signifies the downfall of House Lannister. And, and he dies with his son's whore dead in the other room. So, like, you know, the people know about how he's kind of a hypocrite about him, like, whoring and stuff like that.
But did he, or was she planted? Like,
I don't think she was planted. I think.
But who would plant her? Like,
Varys?
I think that's a stretch.
Stretch? Do you think
that's a stretch that he would go and plant.
Doesn't she turn around and say "my lion" or something like that? Or is that again? That's the I know she says in the show. Is that in the books?
No, she says "my lion" in the books as well, or like "giant of land." I can't remember.
Oh, right. So, yeah, which implies that she knows that, you know. But then
I think she was having sex with Tyrion.
Varys is. doesn't know that
I-
Tyrion's going to do that unless he's very masterful at manipulation. Like,
But
I think-
there is a point made about how the crossbow was on the wall and he couldn't reach any of the other weapons, but there just happened to be a chest placed under the crossbow so he could reach it. And also, like, when Varys is leading Tyrion away and he says, does that lead to the Tower of the Hand? And Varys is like, oh yeah, but don't go. And then he's like, how many steps in this? And he like gives him specific instructions, like directions to get to the Tower of the Hand while going, oh no, come with me, don't go. It's all a bit suspicious. I don't know. I think Varys might have known what was going to happen in some way.
I think it's suspicious, but like, I mean, because Varys views Tyrion as a clever man, and Varys, of course, didn't know about the whole Tysha reveal, and if the Tysha reveal hadn't happened, I don't think Tyrion would have had the anger to actually go off there.
Maybe that's why he planted Shay there. Maybe he thought that.
Oh no, like how would Tyrion have gone up there in the first place?
Well,
I was wondering.
Varys was leading him. Varys told him exactly where to go.
Yeah, not until
Psychology.
not until Tyrion actually pressed the issue. Not until Tyrion actually pressed the point about going up there. I mean, like, if Tyrion had never actually pressed the point, would Varys have actually said anything?
Maybe he would have.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I think that's a bit of a gambit for Varys to kind of, because how would like Varys know that Tywin would be on the Shista at that exact moment and Shay would be in bed on her own, and you know.
He was having problems, and when he like there's the implication that Beric poisoned him, so maybe he knew about that. I mean, I don't know. Varys seems to know, like I don't know what's going on. Varys seems to know so much more than I expected.
Use laxatives, man.
I mean, I know Varys is smart, but it seems a bit too much of a kind of odd
You
gambit.
guys still talking about Tywin?
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I did really like that death for him.
but then I think there was. I mean, I'm just getting this from memory now, but I think George R. R. Martin did say something about he would explain in time exactly what was going on with Shay in the Tower of the Hand, which sort of, I don't know.
I don't know how they're going to explain that.
There's no more to that whole situation. I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
they're going to
totally
explain that. Both Tywin and Shay are dead. So,
I don't know. Like,
but yeah, any others opinions on Tywin?
Yeah. I just got back again. Tywin? No, for me, I think he's a really interesting character. I actually feel like since his death, the series has sort of felt a little less good, and a lot of people do seem to find books 4 and 5 less good, and not having Tywin around kind of didn't seem to make it as good of a storyline because his character was a really great and interesting one. He was definitely really ruthless, and he would get the job done. He did it all to serve his family's interests. So even though he was pretty ruthless, you could sort of say he had his redeeming qualities were in the things that he did, because like even though they were bad, you would have good things coming out of that. Red Wedding. Technically, he ended the war and more lives would have been lost if he didn't do that, or at least that's what he claims. Personally, as a person, I despise him, but I think he's a very good character for this series.
I can't despise him because he's just so cool. He's just so awesome.
He's just so
like,
True.
calm at everything that
Yeah.
happens. Like,
I despise anyone who does sides and orders gang rapes. Guess it's just me.
yeah, well, that,
Godfather.
Overlooking the fact of the rape that he ordered, I kind of meet somewhere in the middle with
Okay.
McCracken and Laura. I really like him, and he's cool and all, and you know he's almost justified if you look at it a particular way, but he's still a pretty big dick.
He's a bit like Corleone, the Godfather.
Oh yeah. I get what you mean.
Who are you comparing him to?
Corleone from the
Don
Godfather.
Which one? Which one?
The old one.
Vito?
Vito Corleone. Yeah. A bit.
It's been a while since I watched Godfather.
I would think Tywin's more of a dick than him.
Well,
He doesn't have as many likable qualities.
I mean, two different worlds. I mean,
but I can
Vito
see.
loved his children, though, and he tried to keep his youngest out of the mafia business, if my memory is correct.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean,
And then there's the third movie.
I mean, in the way
We
he's
don't-
serving his family.
Yeah, I really like Tywin as a character, but not in moral terms. No, definitely not.
No, I mean, he once she ordered a gang rape on a girl of 15, and
13, wasn't it? Was
was
she
she
13?
13?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That makes you a bit of a moral dude,
A bit.
bit of a grey character morally, like, but not so likable. Right. Yeah.
But you have to understand his mindset, though. I mean,
I
I'm
can
not.
understand
not
it.
sa-
It doesn't justify it.
He saw her as a whore. Like, he saw her, even if she actually wasn't one, he saw, like, the fact that she married his son and she was lowborn and all that. He saw her as a whore. And so, I mean, in his mind, having a gang rape is if it is just like same as a whore sleeping with loads of men at the same time for money. Like, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying you can kind of understand his mindset. He wasn't thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna have this girl gang rape." He was thinking, "I'm gonna
Yeah, but
like,
you don't
show my son what this woman is, and she's a whore, and this is what whores do," kind of thing.
I think he saw his is it his mother? Not his mother. His father's mistress.
Yeah,
I think he
and that's
saw
like-
her again when he saw.
Yeah,
Patricia.
definitely, and like that would have clouded his mind a bit, like, because he's still I don't know, embarrassed and angry that this woman would do that to his grandfather, to shame his family like that, and this girl, even though she was just 13, she was innocent and all this sort. He definitely saw it in the same way. So it's not as if he's just an evil, cruel man in that sort of way. It's all very complicated.
But all
But
evil
it
men
is all-
have
yeah.
reason. That no man is just evil because they just.
Ramsay.
I've made a case for Ramsay being understandable. He's had a fairly damaging childhood where he was taught that cruelty and torture got him places, and he's just taken that to the nth degree, and because he's always trying to impress his father.
Speaking of which, should we move on to Joffrey without
Probably
condemnation?
should. Yeah, I mean we touched on it earlier, but yeah, Joffrey.
Because that is my kind of point. I mean, I did originally view Joffrey as kind of very black moral character, but like and on the topic not justifications, understandability about how he acts the way he does because of his upbringing, because of the way he's taught to act from Robert and from Cersei, etc. And
I think he would have been a better person if Cersei didn't encourage him and let him get away with so much. I mean, she wasn't a very good mother to Joffrey at all.
well, Robert was the worst father.
And yeah,
He was neglectful. He didn't, pay any attention to Joffrey. And
Teaching
after that incident where he killed a pregnant cat, like where Robert just beats him, like apparently almost nearly killed him.
yeah.
Robert was
Right.
already shit father.
Joffrey did not have a lot of
Well,
guidance.
I guess he was teaching him being a dick got you places.
Yeah. Then Joffrey got on the throne. And before Ned could kind of,
He had too much negative conditioning, is what it was.
way too much. But, he still wasn't exactly a nice guy.
He wasn't a nice person, but it's like everyone in the show kind of jumped for joy, but then you remember in the books this kid, this is a 14-year-old kid
Yeah.
who's just died of being poisoned.
I didn't like how everyone was so happy that Joffrey died and everything, because he was just a 14-year-old kid. his death scene's quite emotional. It's quite sad. It's quite upsetting, despite the person Joffrey is.
Yeah, when in the show, I mean, I wasn't. I like there are people say like they were jumping up and cheering, but I wasn't. I was just like
I wasn't.
I was just sitting there. I was just thinking like, this is horrible.
I'll admit this. I actually started tearing up when he died. I thought it was really sad.
I would have.
I felt like the show lost a layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Leeson brought
Jack Leeson
great
was
element to the show.
one of the best actors on the show.
Oh, definitely. He did a great job. I really miss him on the show.
And he's giving up acting.
I mean, the Lannisters in the show got some of the best actors, in my opinion.
In my opinion, they are the best actors as a group on the show.
Definitely. I mean, any group with Leader Headey and Charles Dance in it has a fairly strong chance of being the best group of actors on anything. But,
well, we've lost Charles Dance and Jack Leeson. You know, we're down to Nicolaj and Lena and
Peter
Dinklage.
Well, they're all great.
They're all great.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Amy Richardson.
Let's not talk about that, 'cause that's so sad.
I'm not bringing up any. Has anyone actually seen that interview that Thingy had with
admin of Davos Seaworth and the King? I haven't watched all of it. No, I started watching it, but I haven't finished.
Does she say anything about like her not getting like contacted about it or?
I don't know.
About the recast.
I don't know.
That is really bad. They should have told her.
Yeah, it's just being dicks.
D&D.
And D. Now,
D.
David Hill has been promoted from being an assistant to...
No, he was promoted for writing like a fucking...
He got promoted for copying Batman.
Fanfiction. For writing some fucking fanfiction.
Oh no, I think I read why he got promoted. Refresh my memory, please.
It's because of that kid that killed a girl.
He said...
He invented that plot line.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan. How about we have this kid who you probably should have written some kind of ending for anyway, but how about we have him kill Ygritte? And they were
right,
my god.
Right.
This is such
It's
a
not
great...
even a story. It's oh god, I hated that kid. I hated that. Ruined it. I don't think I'm going to watch the show anymore. It just makes me angry.
I'm going to watch it for...
I'm going to watch it, but like kind of...
And that's it. And Theo.
And Cersei's Walk, like I'll watch that and stuff, but the rest of it, I don't think I'll bother. Just look up choice scenes on YouTube and stuff. I don't know.
It's going to be fan fiction from here on out, so you know.
That Tristan, pronounce it, and Marcella thing. That's going to annoy me. That's going to piss me off so much. I do not care. Like you don't even see
Brothers is going to piss me off.
The lack of Greyjoy brothers.
And lack of Manly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking Northern storyline's getting the shaft. Fucking hell. Alright.
Let's go, John. Let's go, Daenerys.
Okay, John's storyline I'm looking forward to simply because Kit Harington upped his game, and also we have Jon and Stannis.
Are we going to talk about the show again?
We are going to very briefly touch on it because I've now said something, so everyone else can say something, but then we're going to go back to other Lannisters.
So we're finished on Joffrey then, yeah.
Yeah, I think we are.
I mean, he's not, you know, he's not that kind. He's not three-dimensional. He's two-dimensional.
Talking about Joffrey, I thought about Viserys.
In what way?
I mean, since Joffrey's bad behavior is a result of his upbringing, of his childhood, I mean, Viserys is...
Viserys is very understandable.
The reason he behaves, he's a product of the environment.
Yeah, definitely.
And, I mean, Joffrey is as well.
I think he does have a bit of, Viserys does have a bit of Targaryen madness, though.
Oh, of course.
You've also got to appreciate that Viserys kept Daenerys alive for 14 years.
I really like Viserys.
14?
14 years, because she's 14 in the books.
Isn't she just 13?
She's 14.
14, but he kept her alive for 13 years. And he was barely, like... How old was he? Like, barely 20?
He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to keep his sister.
But he did.
Like...
Well, he kind of did, you know.
Did he? Really?
Well, yeah, because Targaryen, like, you know, they have brother and sister married together. So that was originally what he was going to do, but then of course he couldn't because he had to sell her in order to get an army.
I suppose so. But I am quite sympathetic towards Viserys.
Yeah.
I am in a way, but he fucked up.
He fucked up.
Yeah, he did kind of become quite a big arsehole, but understandably became an arsehole.
It's actually in the books and in the TV show was quite heartbreaking when he said when he's screaming out for his sister to like help him and stuff.
She's just
It's really.
Nope.
Emilia Clarke ruined that scene.
Oh, she ruins all of them.
She ruins every scene she's in, so there you go. It's not hard to...
To be honest, I've said this. I actually think she acts all right when she's speaking in a foreign language.
Yeah, those scenes are okay, but the rest of them, just awful acting. Like, line delivery is just terrible. I can't
It's the dead eyes that do it for me. Like
It's the dead eyes. Especially that line, like, oh, he was no dragon and a fire can't kill a dragon. That is the worst line delivery in the show. That one scene.
So stiff.
Actually, no, it's not.
No?
There's worse line deliveries that she gives, like when she sees the crucified child and she says,
Oh, yeah.
"You will do no such thing. I will look upon each and every one of them."
Yeah, that was-
Dun, dun, dun,
Is it? I will answer in justice with justice.
it's so perfectly terrible. It's
I will do what queens do. I will rule.
dun.
She says wool, not rule. Woolise Wadwick. But I think enough of Emilia Clarke.
Stop Emilia Clarke bashing, mostly because I don't want to have to keep referencing people to episode 8, where we talk about what we like about the show. And
What do we like about the show? Lannisters. What do we don't like about the show? Emilia.
yeah, that doesn't sum it up completely, but we'll go with that.
As for other Lannisters, I mean,
Lancel.
are we going to talk about Lancel first?
Well, let's
Seriously?
What's there to say about Hansel?
He's a blonde dildo. Let's be honest.
No, but he's an alright, you know what I mean? Like, he's you know, you could say he's a bit immoral to begin with by sleeping with her, but, like, you know, he's repenting for that. He's become a pious guy, you know? I mean, he might be a weak shit, but, you know.
So he's a pious blonde dildo. I mean,
What is he good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
What is it good for?
absolutely not. Oh, Rush Hour.
Kevin?
Kevin I like
Everyone
because he
likes him. You can't hate Kevin. Like, he doesn't do anything wrong. He's just trying to be
there.
a nice guy and help save the realm.
fix the realm.
Sort of a nicer Tywin.
He's
Yeah.
like Tywin, but less of a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
And he completely when he verbally slams Cersei, that's such a great scene.
Oh yeah, I remember in that scene. It's so good.
When he says that she's unfit to be a mother and a
Oh,
ruler,
yeah.
and she chucks
Yeah.
wine in his face.
He was a voice of reason. He was a really good guy. Like, it's a shame he died, else everything would be sorted, I think. I think Kevin would have sorted shit out.
R.I.P. Kevin Lannister. We love you.
But, like,
Rip in pieces.
Other Lannisters. Jenna.
No, wait, that's Rob.
Jenna.
Jenna is one of my favorite minor characters, and like I mean I love all the Lannisters really. They're my favorite house, but Jenna's fucking cool.
She's just like, everything she says is a combination of Tywin's kind of reserved kind of coldness and Tyrion's wit, and it's just hilarious.
I mean, in the marriage between her and Emmond Frey, she's definitely the one wearing the trousers.
Yeah.
And I think Jamie mentions how like she's on the War Council and like how like no one at all objects to her being there. And they wouldn't dare object to her being there and stuff like that.
Independent.
It's a shame we're not going to get her in the TV show. Like, if we don't have Riverland's plot and everything, we're just not going to see her.
Rage building.
And her line about, like, her line to Jamie about, you know,
Philip,
you're
smash.
more of a son to Tywin than you were. Like, that's an important line. We're just not going to get that. It's such a shame.
And well, yeah, it says a lot about how because you know Cersei doesn't take on the name Baratheon when she gets married, and Jenna doesn't take on the name Frey. You know, like there's a lot of kind of independence there. They prefer the name Lannister to the name Frey. You know, they'd rather associate themselves with being Lannister.
So much pride.
Let's be honest, if
Yep.
you were being married, I think I would take the name Lannister over the name Frey.
True.
Has kind of a stigma to it.
Frey means you're a bit of a shithead.
What would a Frey know of honor?
Yeah, that's that general gist of Frey's being a bit shit. I think.
Bartek is a bitch-ass twat. Sorry, I shouldn't say that out loud.
It's fine.
Bartek's not even here.
We
you
could
know,
very
it's-
easily. Well, actually, no. I think that's definitely going to get highlighted. I'm going to up the volume for that bit. Just. And then that's going to be a new intro. Because I think the number of times we've said, shut the fuck up, Bartek, is going into triple digits. Are there any other Lannisters we give a shit about?
Tyros, no,
Someone's all
never
right.
mind.
Who? Tim?
Tyros,
Titus? Tim?
but not really.
We haven't really seen him.
How about Lancel?
We talked about Lancel and... Well,
Lan.
he's a bit of a... He's a blonde dildo with not much purpose beyond that.
Just that memorable.
Yeah.
Lan.
Do we include the Baratheon bastards?
No.
We talked about Joffrey.
Yeah, but... Tom and Marcella.
Joanna?
Tommen's, you know, he's a nice kid, but he's going to die, and it's going to be horrible.
Yeah. Tom and...
What about Joanna?
He wants to outlaw beats. It's horrible.
Tom and Marcella, the true evidence that you can beat both nature and nurture.
Yeah, I think that's the point of him. Like, especially Marcella.
Tommen has kittens, and he wants to outlaw beats. You know,
How much cuter can you get? Like, his sole purpose is just to be the cute factor of the series.
and he's going to die, and it's going to be horrible.
Yes, he is.
Hey, we don't know
We
that.
don't know it, but it's fairly...
We don't know that, but you know.
How do you think he'll die?
Probably
Maggie-
in a really horrible way, and it's going to be heartbreaking.
George.
We got you, George.
Didn't we theorize that Jon would get Tommen?
Theorized that who? McCracken theorized that who would kill Thomas?
No, I could have sworn in a previous episode we were talking about if the possibility of Euron getting the Iron Throne and executing Tommen.
Yeah, that sounds like...
That'd be really fucking dark.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if there was,
Yeah, and it's
if there was
Euron.
a character that could
And,
kill a kid, it's Euron. Let's be honest.
Or Jack.
Yeah, and Euron's also possibly like a pedo.
Oh yeah, because the whole thing with the implication that he raped Aaron.
Oh, dude, no,
Well, actually,
I don't want Euron to, like, molest Tommen. That would be way too dark.
That's a bit dark.
Euron's the Michael Jackson of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Or the Jimmy Savile. Or the Rob Harris, depending upon which.
Thought about Jimmy Savile.
Yeah. Or maybe the Rob Harris, you know. If we... Well, okay, let's move on from pedophiles. Let's...
I never thought
What about
I'd actually use
Marcella?
that phrase on this podcast.
What, pedophiles? Of course we were going
No, let's move on from
to...
pedophiles.
Right, okay.
Let's talk about Marcella
So,
and her pedophile boyfriend Tristan.
I'm getting out.
yeah. Let's not talk about what's going to happen in the show, because it'll depress me too much.
I don't even want to think about it. It's just going to be awful. There's just no
Yeah,
point.
someone
to it.
should kill that guy.
What? Kill the guy who's going to play Christian?
Dark. Don't fucking dark.
I mean,
No,
Do
I
you
mean
mean the actor?
Martin. Martin should, in The Winds of Winter, introduce Tristan Martell and just have him murdered brutally.
Yeah,
I
why
hope he
not?
dies in the show. I hope they if they're not going to cast Quentin, I hope that Tristan or Tristane, I don't know, whatever, does what Quentin does and gets eaten by a dragon. That would be alright.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
But that makes Daenerys look kind of bad.
Well,
We don't want that.
oh no.
D&D wouldn't like that. That'd be... Oh, no. No.
No.
Did you guys discuss Dave Hill?
Very briefly.
But
McCracken,
Can't
give
believe I
us...
missed that.
McCracken, give us...
Philip did
give
an
us-
awesome impression.
Yeah,
Give us
sure.
your thoughts
Go
on
ahead.
McCracken, because I think you will bring a certain comedy element to this. So, the floor is yours, McCracken.
I didn't hear a fucking word you said.
he said the floor is yours.
On D&D.
I don't know, like, I just saw that and my first reaction was I was just laughing at the sheer stupidity of it. So basically, because this guy comes up with the idea of, that one kid, I can't even remember his name because that's how
Ollie.
little a shit I give about him. Ollie, I was hoping it wasn't similar to Oliver. But anyway, shit. Basically, it's stupid that you come up with that idea and then you just get promoted to the position of head writer. Like, who else are they going to promote to head writer? Anyone whose name starts with a D or something?
Dario.
It's not even a fucking good idea. It's not a good idea. It was not a good plot point. It was stupid. It was boring.
Everyone saw it coming.
Yeah.
It's fucking check
D and D and D and D.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't
Daenerys
go to
and
quadruple
Dario.
D.
5 Ds, Daenerys and Daria.
and Drogo.
Actually, that's a project I'm working on right now.
I don't even want to know what that project is.
I don't want to know what your project is.
Yeah. It involves 6 people, and it involves a certain video game that lets you make detailed avatars of people. And I've already got Dario made.
Oh, it's WWE, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm gonna go for Graves, Benioff, Weiss, Daenerys, and Drogo. Put them all up together. It's gonna be epic.
Okay. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Are we going to go back on topic? You can just carry on.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay, we've gone so far off topic. I think we have exhausted our Lannisters almost completely. So
Well, we could. We could talk about the Lannisters as a whole.
they're a dysfunctional fucking family.
Yeah, and I fucking love it for it.
How about we talk about Dorna Swift?
Who?
What?
McCracken?
Dorna Swift.
Harris Swift.
Why Harris?
Yeah, you know what you're saying. You know what you're saying about running out of ideas. I was trying to help with that. Dorna Swift, very fresh idea. Definitely doesn't give the idea that we have no fucking ideas to work with.
We have lots of ideas to work with. They're not very good in the most part.
Better than anything Benioff or Weiss could come up
Yeah, we
with.
probably wrote the show better than Benioff and Weiss, but that's not
And
very
Dave.
hard. So, yeah.
Do you think it's their fault? Do you think it's D&D's fault that it's so shit, or do you think there's
Yeah.
people higher up in HBO and other things and directors and all that it's just it's all got messed up because there's a lot of
There's a
shit.
higher up shadowy organization.
Oh, yeah, because
Illuminati.
Umbrella,
The League of
Umbrella
Shadows.
Corporation.
League of Shadows.
I just D&D they're fans of the books, aren't they? I mean, wouldn't they want to keep it as close to or are they just cunts? Or they just lost their mind?
I think what happened is they stuck to it for the first season because they knew they needed to kind of appease George and
Sort
kind
of first season 2 as well.
Yeah, to keep the first season to kind of.
Maybe it's Graves.
And then I think after the first season, they got the idea and they started thinking that they could be better than
Yeah.
in the books.
Yeah.
And so they started adding in extra things and changing things, and that's when it all went wrong.
What if It's Graves.
I don't
Graves
think
is
it's
the
Graves.
Graves is forcing them to do it.
Graves, Graves is actually just like
And after he started getting all this, faked his getting fired from the show to throw suspicion back onto D&D, but he's the real
he's the real
behind all of
he's
this.
the real one behind all of it.
Oh, fuck Alex Graves, man.
Did like that.
Alex Graves loves you too.
Graves is love, Graves is life.
No. Stop you.
When Alex Graves raped the show, was it consensual or not?
It became consensual, to use his words.
Jesus fucking Christ. Right. So yeah.
No, the only thing Alex Graves could direct is the Human Centipede.
Oh my god.
That's
No, to be fair on him, he's not a bad director. Well,
not-
apart from the set scene side,
He's just retarded.
he directed the episode 5 from season 3, and that was one of the best episodes. And it had the Jamie monologue in it, and
That
the
was
best
before
part
he
I've ever
began
seen.
his quest.
his quest to have become consensual sex and everything.
Consensually fuck the books and show.
Fuck the books.
Consensually, of course. Right. I think we're done. I think we're pretty much close to done.
We're done when I say we're done.
Breaking Bad reference.
We're done when I say it became consensual.
Oh god.
Alright, okay, everyone's going to sign off, and it's going to be great. So,
I can hear the sound of Rusty's timber playing.
Tim, sign off.
Bye, I've been Tim Morris from Dolnai. Goodbye.
Malcolm.
Malcolm's fucking God. I've been Malcolm.
Wow.
Malcolm has been Malcolm, and he's yapping on 1,001 pages of cool
I'm
stuff.
Malcolm, and I'm gonna be signing out now, so see y'all.
I'm gonna have to leave as well.
Alright, yeah.
Well, bye.
See ya.
It's been a pleasure.
Everyone like this video.
McCracken.
Yeah, sorry, McCracken, sign off.
Hang out. Thanks to all of you for doing this, for maybe delaying a little so I could get in at the end.
We delayed a lot.
It's okay.
Anyway, next week when I'm on the podcast, you're going to let me in because it's going to be a
Bye.
consensual decision.
And
Bye.
our last guest,
Bye.
and our last and best guest, I think. Possibly. Probably not.
Ouch. Bye.
So I'm sorry.
Something a sycophant, Phil.
Oh. The other two have just gone.
Thanks.
We haven't stopped recording, but
Yeah, thanks for having me on and listening to me speak. It's been nice.
well. And I have been Philip from Donmai. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like it, subscribe, get hype. Goodbye.